suffers so much that, you know, he just eats up every line. And sometimes you've got to say, eat a little less, because I've never worked with an actor that just celebrates the work that he does as much as Andrew does, because he loves this show so much.
Well, he's good. He inhabits Connor.
Get him in for now, but it would help if I knew what size creature we were dealing with. I've had to guess the dosage.
Where's my gun? Abby's got one. She knows how to use it.
How many animals have you tranquilised?
I've played
Great casting. And that's the thing, because I did the last 3 episodes of the first series, and you only hope as a director going in that you're going to inherit great casting, and because it's not your choice. And I think the actors that you all chose were just so well cast.
We go in.
Good corridor.
Couldn't resist that when we saw it. It actually leads to a car park.
Yeah, the last time I was in that, I was buying some Egyptian cotton sheets.
I think you should get a gold card now, Adrian.
I've seen this guy in an ad as well.
Oh, that's where I've seen him, you're right. Which one was it?
It's a furniture store, strangely.
Duty manager.
Tell us what happened.
We got an emergency call from one of our operatives. We haven't been able to raise him since.
Well, what did he say?
They've got a really good dynamic, the cast, and Dougie takes the role of leader.
Do you see anything in there? I want you to close these shutters behind us, and I don't want you
And
to
they really,
open them
you know, they
until
really
I'm
look up to him. And I think that's the other thing. Rhythmically, each one of those actors is so different.
Mustn't get out.
He'd be dead scary as well.
But you can see the way they've got more and more confident.
Hang on, who the hell are you?
It's a huge responsibility going into a second series where such a strong promise was made at the end of the first series. I think we all felt it. These were the first things that we shot, so we actually shot in episode order. And these were the first few days of the series shoot, and
Yes.
everyone was aware of it.
Chuck 2 weeks of nights at you straight away.
Indeed.
Stephen, if you're looking for closure, I'm a little bit busy.
Don't blame me for being angry.
Look, Helen never cared about either of us.
Because, of course, this episode sets up a running serial story between Stephen and Cutter that lasts for the whole series.
Just forget it.
But that serial thing is so difficult, isn't it? Because, of course, most people are just watching it for this episode. So how much serial material you can have in there, and it has to fit with the story.
Yeah, I mean, my traditional thing is to write an entire episode of serial stuff and then have Tim throw the first 50 pages out the window and say, what about the story of the week? And I say, oh yeah, that's true. Better do that as well.
Sure.
This is a nice declaration of the creature.
That was actually shot back at the Ark, in one of the Ark rooms. You know, with the best will in the world, you can never really achieve what you want to achieve, so some scenes have to juggle, and we obviously couldn't get back to that location, so we shot it in one of the rooms at the Ark.
I said it was beautiful, I didn't say it was friendly.
Which can be difficult for the actors, because we'd already shot another episode, and they had to go back and do that scene. And, 2 weeks in the shoot feels like a year, so they did really well with remembering exactly where they were, and hopefully I helped them with that.
There's something very nice in there about a place of recreation and enjoyment suddenly becoming a place of threat.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about the bowling alley. You don't usually see it as a place of threat.
Well, one of the things we know from talking to people and from the research is that the things that the audience love the best is when a creature appears in a very familiar or a fun situation, like a bowling alley or whatever, and it always plays well.
There's a fancy shot.
Yes, this is where I get told I went too far. But Adrian, actually, you'd scripted a really kind of lovely journey of exploration to the anomaly down, amongst the machinery, and it's a shame we couldn't find the location to suit it, because it was a really, it was a great process of discovery, and we just couldn't find the location.
It's the way it goes. It was a thing of beauty, that, but there you go.
Yeah, if you can lend me a £5.
This is the first big
Abby.
set piece of the episode. I think it's absolute winner, this one.
If you look for the feathers, what they are in fact is a bit in between. They're not full-blown feathers, they're actually like spines, which might be what early feathers look like anyway. But that's something that the computer graphics can cope with easier. But what it did give us is a great excuse for sort of the creature to rattle like a rattlesnake, which I think is a lovely sort of aggressive tactic, you know, to scare his prey. He's kind of gets bigger and rattles at them.
It's a difficult sound to find, and Lee, the sound designer, worked really hard at trying to find his voice and also find a sound that the scaled rattle could cut through. This is an example of how much more confident the actors are acting with nothing.
Yeah.
Because Andrew had nothing here at all.
So you do forget that. They're running away from and looking at nothing all the time. I thought this was him going under the door, because it's cut so well.
It's a stunt double.
Yeah, but it just...
That's a stunt double.
You'd never know that.
Yeah.
Yes, brilliant.
Andrew won't thank me for saying that.
No, he did a fantastic slide anyway.
And don't forget, it's traditional for actors to always say they do their own stunts.
Although Dougie did a lot of his own in the later episodes.
Whew. Right, gotta check the atrium, make sure we can contain it.
We need more firepower. This is a raptor.
I've just lost a friend because we disrupted nature once too often, and I don't intend to let it happen again.
You're sure you're okay?
Under the circumstances, I'd say I was doing pretty well.
It's very Harrison Ford, that.
I love it that they're never allowed enough time to really explore.
To stop and think, yeah, it's great.
Abby, give me your gun. Stay here.
I have to say that little pistol's looking rather small and puny compared to the Raptors now.
Well, I think that's interesting in a way, because we always have to equalise the threat, because guns obviously could take down dinosaurs, so you don't want guns to be too prominent in this show.
Well, that was quite tough, wasn't it, in the early drafts of this, finding moments where that you made sure they were unarmed and who had the pistol and who had the rifle.
Yeah.
It's one of the great dilemmas in the programme, is that as soon as people have a gun, it makes it difficult to keep coming up with reasons why they don't just shoot the creatures. Cutter has a good reason, because he doesn't believe you should kill anything.
Anomaly, one very angry rabbit.